Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Round 9 Tigercast Player of the Year votes. Things are heating up nicely at the top of the table for the votes this week, and I reckon there could be some differences that have come through which might make things a little bit more interesting after our 2-point win against West Coast, thanks to the magic of the Tom Brown tackle right at the end there, which was unbelievable, EJ. He was desperate and had to make it, but yeah, it was an interesting game in terms of trying to work out some best players.
Yeah, it was. It was a real mix of, there were people in each part of the ground, and this was the week where I probably had another 3 or 4 players outside my votes that didn't get in. It was probably the biggest collection that I've had yet.
Yeah, even CB on the live show gave an apology to Mansell for not getting him slotted into his vote. So I think there was a few people that were getting some very, very good honourable mentions. But with that said, we'll bring up the votes for the week. We'll start off with the fives. So the fives, I went for Nathan Broad for 5, as did you. So I'll let you talk about that one in a sec. CB went for Sam Banks, as did Grock, and Tiggs went for Tim Taranto for the 5 votes. But Broady's game, you loved what he brought to the table?
Oh, I love it. Broad and Vlosten were both amazing. They both had 9 intercepts. They both had 4 intercept marks. You know, like that. As I was saying in the live show, when we fell away and West Coast started to take control, those guys were holding the fort down back. They were unbelievable. They have definitely been helped by Bolter coming back and providing an anchor and allowing Bolter and Miller sort of giving the stability that allows Broad and Vlosten to sort of move around a bit. They both did an amazing job.
No, they were huge. You know, when we consider the game last year where Waterman kicked 6 and we make him look like Wayne Carey, and then he kicked 1 or 2 this week. I thought we did reasonably well on him. So that was a positive sign. 4 votes. 4 votes. I went for Tim Taranto. I thought he was pretty good in the midfield again. CB Taranto as well. Grock Tim Taranto. Tiggs went for Tom Lynch, which I like as well. And EJ, you went for Nick Vlosten.
Yeah, just as I said, they had really similar games. I could have given either of them the top votes. I know it's not as fashionable down back sometimes because, again, I'm pretty sure Taranto gets 3. I think I've given him some votes pretty soon, like another monstrous game. But for me, if we didn't have the defenders this weekend, we don't win a very, very tight game.
That's right. I mean, they're the ones who end up stopping them from scoring ultimately. We'll go to the 3 votes, which you did. You had Tim Taranto for the 3 votes. I went for Sam Banks for 3. I thought that was one of his better games for the club. He could definitely some things he can still clean up on, but 600 odd metres gained, slotted in on the half-back role and doing some wing work too. I thought it was really good from him. CB went for Nick Vlosten for 3 votes. Grock went for Seth Campbell, which I like as well. Tiggs went for Jacob Hopper, who him and Taranto have been pretty big in the midfield the last month or so for us. But we went for Timmy Taranto for the 3 votes.
Yeah, I mean, 16 contested possessions.
Big number.
27 disposals, 81% efficiency. But that contested possession stat is just amazing. Like more than 50% of his possessions. He's just been an absolute workhorse, and it was another high-quality game.
Yeah, no, they're good numbers. And to have an efficiency still at that level with that many contested disposals as well is really, really good. 2 votes. I went for Nick Vlosten for all the reasons you outlined earlier. CB went for Nathan Broad. Tiggs went for Sam Banks, and Grock and yourself went for Tom Lynch for the 2 votes.
Yeah, and I mean, if Lynch had his kicking boots on, he might have got more votes.
Yeah, he missed that last one at the end, didn't he? That one from 25 metres out.
Yeah, 17 possessions. That's high for Lynch.
When do you reckon the last time he would have got that?
I honestly couldn't tell you. Well, considering he's played no games, it's got to be at least 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, exactly true.
Yeah. So he's had 8 contested possessions, 6 marks, a couple of them contested. There was that fantastic the kick that he missed. He was in between 4 or 5 West Coast players when he took that grab. So
yes,
much like the other talls, he's doing the right things. If he's not marking it, he's bringing the ball down. He's following up second efforts. He's really leading from the front as the experienced figure. And I'm sure you can see it at the ground, but he's really setting the forward line up. He's telling people to go here, go there. So with Jack gone, I thought we might lose more of that sort of guiding hand out on the ground, but he's been great in that respect as well.
Yeah, the commentators did make mention of his leadership out there too, so I think it's something that's starting to get noticed from a bit further back as well. We've seen all the training shots and things like that working with the players one-on-one, which is what we expect him to do, of course, being that type of leader. But yeah, he had a really good game, and he had that other goal that was overturned as a point when Jonty Fall tapped it to him. So he could have had that one plus the set shot that he missed as well. Could have been a really nice day out for him. We'll jump into the one votes for the final votes. I've gone Jonty Fall. I thought it was, and I know he's only played a handful of games, but it was easily his best game for the club. But for me, it was just a really mature and a well-rounded performance. And he didn't get a ton of the ball, didn't even kick a goal, which I thought he might have gotten on the end of one. But took some really nice marks, laid some great tackles, some good holding the balls. But it was the work rate getting from contest to contest to contest, just getting a hand in at the last moment to make sure a West Coast defender couldn't mark it, which brings the ball to ground for us to reset and start again. It was unbelievable work rate, and it's exactly why we brought him to the club. So I thought I should give him a vote for that because it was really impressive. CB went for Tom Lynch for the one vote. Grock went for Tom Brown. Tiggs went for Tom Brown as well, and you went for Jacob Hopper.
Yeah, it was a toss-up between about 5 players, mainly Hopper and Banks. But, yeah, just again, it's the contested numbers. I think he was 1 less than Taranto, who was 15. So, they've had over 30 contested possessions between the two of them in the middle of the ground, which is just an astonishing effort. So that's probably what got him over the line against, as I said, there was a couple of really, as good as a game as what he had, there was a couple of poor choices with Banks that sort of just marked him down a little bit for me. And I just want to give a shout out to Ryan Mansell and Seth Campbell, who were both very, very unlucky.
Agree. On multiple fronts, I think. Well, Seth made it in for Grock, and I think that might have been about it. But yeah, very, very unlucky for those two. I agree. I think that's a very good shout out. So we'll jump over to leaderboard. It's tightening up a little bit at the top here. It's still very midfield strong, but that's not always a bad thing, I guess. Jacob Hopper leading the way on 103 votes. Tim Taranto with that game, he got obviously a bunch of 4s. Let's close the gap. He's on 99. Vlosten on 57, Nank 51, Seth Campbell 45, Trainer 39, Dow 28, Ross 26, Mansell 25, Camden McIntosh, the 200 gamer this week on 24. And then it goes down from Ben Miller all the way down to Jonty Fall with the 1 vote. So, look, it's a bit of ground to make up for Vlosten, Nankervis and co, but there's still plenty of games left, EJ, for that leaderboard to change. But Hopper seems like he'll take, and Taranto are going to take a bit of catching.
Yeah. I mean, if they keep that standing up in the middle, they might not get 5s every week, but they're going to keep polling enough votes to sort of keep them at the pointy end. I can see Trainer pulling a few more votes and maybe elevating a little bit further up. But it's a lovely mix of old and young. It is
even someone like Seth Campbell on 45 votes. He's putting in good efforts. He's had a couple of down games, but when he plays well, he does play really well, and it stands out.
And great to see Jonty Fall on the board.
Yeah. No, I thought he definitely deserved to vote young Jonty, but there you go, folks. They are the votes for this week. Let us know in the comments below, what was your 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1? I'm sure there was plenty that were unlucky from our votes, as EJ mentioned. We can't fit them all in, though, but we'll be back next week for the votes against the Kangaroos. And, we'll see if anyone can bridge the gap to Jacob Hopper. But until then, go Tigers.
Go Tigers.